Hello. One second. Have you ever seen a person in your life that they're just always so giggly and happy and bouncy and like nobody understands where it comes from? They're super energetic and to the point where it actually annoys you. I look at this person and a lot of times I felt some sort of envy, and that's where my annoyance with them came from. It wasn't because they were happy that was really annoying me. It's because I wasn't like that. It was because it didn't reflect who I am. I feel like I've kind of dissected that mentality a little bit. What can I do exactly to achieve this joy, this happiness that doesn't seem to be breakable? I feel like where it really matters in order to be able to handle those tough days is what you do on days where things are just fine, how you react to the world around you when nothing really bad is going on. Personally, because I believe in God, the one thing that really affects my day is prayer. Prayer, talking to God right away in the morning, reading my Bible really has a huge impact on how I see the rest of my day because reading the Word of God is my bread. But not everybody's religious. I understand that. But I believe that there's something that you can find in that. It's basically taking this time to really reflect on what's good in your life, what's maybe not so great and you would maybe like to have an improvement, and also consuming something that is positive. I'm consuming something that positive, reading the Bible. I'm dwelling on the good things in my life. I'm thinking about all the things I'm grateful for and I'm thanking God for that. And then lastly, the action of thinking about things that I would like to improve. I'm not just comfortable and settled with what I have now. I want to be better as a person, a human being. I want to improve the quality of my life by making sure to do certain things. Just having that mentality also helps me. Reflection is how you look at yourself in a very real way. You check in with yourself. How are you emotionally? How are you spiritually? How are you feeling? What are your concerns? And what is going wrong and what is going good in your life? Now, maybe you're having a good day. Nothing's wrong. You're having a good day. But then you have a friend, a coworker that comes to you, talking about somebody at work that they can't stand, and they're wanting you to feed into this energy, and they want feedback from you, and you just start giving in. It's like, oh yeah, this person always does this and that, and it pisses me off too. That action by itself is literally bringing your mood down. Everybody grew up in a different environment. Everybody grew up in a different home situation. Everybody was taught differently, different values, different beliefs. So because of that, we have to realize that when somebody does something, it's not always with the intention of hurting you. No, they're usually trying to do the best they can with what they have, and they don't even realize they pissed you off. They don't even realize they made you mad. The best way that you could really deal with something like that is learning to let it roll off your shoulder. I could choose to really be angry, pissed off, and let this 1 minute or 5 minute interaction ruin the rest of my day, or I could choose to let it go. I'm going to choose to let it go and move on. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm not going to dwell on it anymore. If it starts to come up in my brain, I'm scooching it out, thinking about something else. I'm going to listen to some music, whatever I need to do, take a walk, take a breather, go to the bathroom, cry for 5 minutes if I need to, and come back and I'm going to be happy again. Because once you give this person the power to really affect you in that way, you've lost that day. You've lost that moment. You've lost joy. And you don't want to lose that. And in order to have joy, you have to protect it. You have to protect your peace and you have to protect your joy. It's not something that you should just easily let go and let somebody take away. Be very zealous for joy. I think one thing that is not really thought about is that we sometimes set ourselves up for failure when it comes to peace and joy and feeling happy. Imagine going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, waking up at 6, you're groggy, you're tired. If you don't sleep, if you're not able to sleep, it can really affect your mood. It can make you down. You stayed up all night and now you're in bed all day and there are all these things you wanted to do on your day off. And now you woke up at 2 p.m. and you got nothing that you actually wanted to do done. It's because you didn't set yourself up for success. You didn't set yourself up for joy. You didn't set yourself up for what you really wanted to, do with your day. You took it away from yourself. Instead of regretting how you treat yourself, in the future, think about yourself now. Treat yourself like a child. You wouldn't let a child stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning. You wouldn't let a child not eat a meal. You wouldn't let a child just be cooped up at home all day and not go outside and see sunlight. You wouldn't do any of that because it's not healthy for the child. You know yourself, you know your personal needs better than you might know somebody else's, right? So joy is really important to prepare for and the little things that we do on a daily basis. And obviously, a lot of these factors, a lot of these things can be, personal goals that you have for yourself. Yes, like you want all of these things, but why do you want all those things? Why do you want clearer skin? Why do you want to improve your eye bags? Why exactly do you want to go to the gym? You're looking for joy in those little things. That's the basis of why you're doing everything. You're looking for ways that would make you proud of yourself. You're looking for things that would make people praise you. What we're doing is chasing joy. And by choosing, moments of like bad type of joy, we're really being detrimental to our future self. We're really being detrimental for what we really want. We chase easy, simple joys, our cellular devices, our phones. I'm going to be here for maybe 4 hours, right? And I'm seeing all of these people and they're making me laugh. I'm seeing all these videos that are interesting. I'm learning all these different facts. I'm seeing things that are maybe really messed up. And I'm entertained right now. This is joy, right? This is entertainment is a form of happiness. It feels good. But how worth it is it if after it you feel really crappy? After you turn off your phone and it's been 4 hours and you've actually done basically nothing, how good does it really feel when you feel exhausted, when you feel like you haven't accomplished much, when you feel like a failure? If that's what you really want to do, if all you really aspire to is just be on your phone and play video games all the time, if that's what you aspire to be, that's fine. Who am I to say, like, don't do it? But if you see more for yourself, if you see that this is not really what you want to be doing and you want to be that person that's reading books, that person who's really out there in the world with their friends and, connecting with people, that person who's happy and healthy and living life at its fullest, then you're not doing yourself a service by chasing quick joy, by chasing quick happiness, by chasing quick entertainment. And honestly, when I talk to you guys about this stuff, I'm not preaching at you like I'm perfect and, I know all of these things because I'm, too good for them. This is what I've realized for myself is really important. And I know a lot of us have come to this realization and we're having to struggle with like disconnecting. But legitimately, being on my phone all the time has never, ever felt good. What the purpose of a phone is to actually connect. It's to make legitimate connections with people, making a phone call to a friend we haven't talked to in a while, making sure to text people back. Having actual conversations with people is what this phone thing was meant for. We can see things that are happening in Japan right here in the comfort of our own homes. And that's great. That's amazing. That's wonderful. And we can learn things from all different types of culture with it. But there comes a limit. There should be a limit. And we don't put a limit on ourselves. And the way things are designed, they don't allow us to have a limit anymore. I'm getting off topic here. Let me reel it back in. Anyway, so back to joy. I kind of touched on this subject before, but I know there's a saying out there that is on the internet: people suck. People suck. We always say it. People suck, and it's true. Like people kind of do suck at times, but that's not the end. It's not the beginning and the end of it. People suck, but people are great too. People are really kind too, and I don't think that for somebody who is joyful and happy, they go around saying or thinking that people suck and that they hate everybody. Hating everybody, it shouldn't be as okay as people make it to be. And I used to be that, like, one of those people. It was part of like my persona. Like I was just like that, quiet, kind of like depressed chick who just like hated everybody. That was my persona. That was like what I took on for myself. And I thought it was okay because everybody else was the problem but me. I wasn't the problem. Everybody else was making me sad. I had nothing to do with why I was feeling the way I was. I blamed a lot of my frustration and my sadness on the world around me, when I really should have realized that nobody has control of joy but yourself. Nobody is taking anything away from you that you are not giving them yourself. You're letting people take your joy because you're choosing to see them as terrible. You're not seeing that there is actually a lot of good people out there. If you're pushing out this, positive energy, people are usually positive back. Obviously, there's outliers in the situation. It's not always going to be like that. If you choose to have this belief that, people are okay, and yeah, they suck sometimes, but whatever. It doesn't matter because most people are cool. Having that mentality will get you a lot farther when it comes to just being a happy person. Because you can't be a happy person if the world around you just sucks. And if all you see is things just failing and falling and things just not going right, you won't be able to find joy. You won't see that the sun is out and be like, oh, it's such a nice day today. I love it. No, you'll see the sun and be like, I'm sweating, I'm gross, like, oh, I hate this. No, that's going to be how you are. Instead, you're going to be grumpy about, the fact that you don't have a personal chef like rich people. Instead of being grateful that you have something in your fridge. It doesn't benefit you. It doesn't. You have to literally choose to see things differently. And it's not easy to switch your mind like that at first. It's something you have to work towards. Instead of having your glass empty, you're forcing it to be full. Choosing to not be pessimistic. You're not just automatically built in one way and you can evolve and reconstruct your thinking and the way you see the world. You have this power and control because God gave you it to make choices in your life. You have the power and the choice to change how you see things, to change how you view things, to change how you go about life and how you reflect things. Have that conversation with the person as opposed to being quiet and to yourself. Take that invitation that somebody extended to you instead of being like, oh, I'm kind of like, it's not my vibe to have all these friends, It's not my vibe to be so open to people. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Naturally, maybe you're not that way, but you can be. You make the choice. And if you want friends, if you want people around you, you have to make the choice to contact them, to not ghost them for hours, interact. You have to make the choice to set up a meeting instead of waiting for them to ask you all the time. Maybe make the first step if you really have this person you're interested in as a friend, as a lover. You make the first step instead of waiting for them to come to you. It's hard. It's not easy. And if you really felt like you wanted it and it's something that you crave and desire, you would do it. Even if it feels like embarrassing. It's hard to get rejected. Rejection feels like crap. I hate getting rejected. It's the worst feeling ever. But I'd rather take the chance that somebody's gonna take me up on my invitation. I'd rather take that chance and expand my horizon than just be balled up in my own little corner in my own little dark world, sad all the time and miserable because that's my MO. That's my vibe. That's who I am. No, you're not. You don't have to be. You choose to be. In depression, you can make choices. I learned that. And I chose to listen to sad music to make myself more depressed. That wasn't helpful. I learned to have this different outlook on how I did things. Instead of feeding into my depression, I fought against it. All I wanted to do was sit in bed, to lay in bed and sleep. I had to fight myself out of the covers. I had to fight myself when I wanted to listen to that really depressing song that I really love because I really felt like somebody actually understood me. So we can have little different things that we do to choose to be happy. I feel like for the most part, most of us, if we're just leading a life that's pretty mediocre or normal, we have choices that we can make. You can cut out these little things and change the way you interact with the world around you in order to achieve joy. Because joy isn't something that is momentary. No, joy is something that's in you, that sustains. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe because that helps me out a whole lot. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. He says bye too.